Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the Progressive Book Test by Michael O'Brien. So let's talk about it. So we are today talking about the Progressive Book Test by Michael O'Brien, which is available through all magic retailers. Murphy supplies it, so you can pick up there, or you can get it from Michael O'Brien himself on his website. I'll put the link in the description for that. And it's a range of book tests. Today, specifically, we're talking about the Strolling edition, which comes in about that size. I have the Scarlet Pimpernel version of it. It's one of the things I also picked up at Blackpool, and it's a nice size, that sort of strolling environment. Especially, I can see myself using this quite a bit of tables because it'll fit in my jacket pocket. It's not too bulky. And also, when you're at a sort of banquet table where there's 10 people, you almost want to make it a bit of a parlor show. So that's why I think it's really nice for that. So one of the advantages that you get with these books that Michael's built into it, that if you have multiple books, you can use one to peek information, the other, and vice versa. But they also just work individually, and that's what I have. So it won't really be talking about how you can use the sort of paired up books and how they interact. It's all in the instructions. If you get one of them, you get access to all that. But for me, I'm just going to be talking about the single one and what you can do with that. So to begin with, you can sort of have a 3-phase routine. So the first phase, you flick through the book, have someone say stop, they look at the first word, and you can reveal what that is. Then the second phase, they can go to the next page, read the first sentence, and you have to pick up on a nice word on that page, on that sentence. So one of those words will stand out to you. You can pick up on it and start revealing that to them. Then they can open any page, think of a nice, long, interesting word, and you can reveal that as well. So sort of 3-phase that builds in impossibility throughout the routine. So that's one thing I really like about it, because it becomes more and more impossible. One thing that some people might see as a negative themselves is in the first phase that one of the words could be a word like the, for example, which isn't like the most impossible thing to reveal because it's so short. But I actually like that because it kind of gives a reason for the progression and go through it. So, like, for example, if you're doing the first phase and it comes back as the, you can be like, oh, that was a bit short. Just go to the next page and read that sentence and see if we can get from there. And it kind of makes sense why you go along with it. I know for some people they might not like that, but I actually think it's really good. Those can have, I guess, personal preference. But there are also other words. They're not always the, but that is a possibility that could come up as you're going through it. So like if I was to flick through here and get there's the that time, there can be all happy. So there's lots of different words as you're going through it. Bright was one of them there as I went through the book. So there's some short words and some medium-sized words, but that is kind of the reason for the progression. So it's one of those things that's quite easy to do. In the first couple of phases, there's nothing really to memorize. All the information is there for you as you're performing it, so you're able to reveal that, so you don't have to memorize anything really for that. There is a bit of memory work that you might want to do for the third phase, but there is also a crib in plain sight that you could just rely on that if you want to. But it's one of those things as well that those sort of words can be the same across all the book series. So again, if you have multiple of these, so someone can have a choice and all the bonuses that you get with that, you don't have to remember different words, different books. So if you remember them for one of these, you have it for everything, which I think is really cool. So it's one of those routines that I quite like. I think it's really cool. I do book tests on stage. I do The End by Angelo Carbone quite a bit on stage. So I think this is actually a nice way to be able to do a close-up. I know he sells close-up versions of that, but it's nice to have a bit of variety as well for yourself. So this is something that I'm going to be kind of me do it when I'm doing tables or performing with it. You also get the instructions. They're here on a little Michael O'Brien bookmark, just to make sure that that's all there and nice and clear. So you can have that and check it out. When you go into the instructions, there is the strolling version that's there, but there's a longer original version of the instructions for like the main bigger books. And a lot of the main instructions are in there. It's quite a long video and it goes through how those books work, but what you actually need for this is in the beginning. So you can just watch the start of that, and as it goes into more stuff that isn't really required, because it might be a different title, if you have the strolling version, you can do that. So I definitely think it's something that's definitely worth checking out and picking up, especially if you're into book tests. There's some new things that Michael has come up with this that's available. There's also a way to perform this if you don't have the books on you. So he includes that in there as well. So sort of like a digital style of a book test. So you can do a version as well with that, which does open up a lot of doors. So that really does make it nice and strong. So it's nice, sure. There's not really much else to say on this. It's just a really cool book test. I like the copies. The Scarlet Pimpernel was the one that I picked up. They were selling like hotcakes at Blackbooth. This is one of the last ones that was available of even this version. So but I'm definitely happy with it because it looks like that sort of book you pick up at the airport, turn your bag, and you can just use it away. Nice colorful color will stand out when you're performing for people. Definitely something I recommend. I'll be using it. What are your thoughts? Please comment down below what you think about it. If you have it, if you have any questions about it, comment them and I'll answer them as well. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and we've had like 20 odd new subscribers in the last month. So we really appreciate everyone who does subscribe and everything else. It really does help us out. So thanks everyone and we'll see you again next time.